here in the Kickapoo Valley, the ice caves are the fortunate happening of a couple of geological accidents. And one of those is that at an elevation of 900 feet, which is about 100 feet, down here it's about 100 feet above the river. At about 900 feet, a layer of sand, it's all sandstone below that too, layers of ground up rock that were deposited in big flat layers. But sandstone is variable. It can be really, really hard and resisting erosion, or it can be really soft and rotten and just falls apart. And it happens that that 900-foot layer is very erosion resistant. So it's a thick, probably about 10, 15 feet thick, a very hard, non-erosive or slowly eroding sandstone. But right underneath it, if that's all you have, it would eventually wear off and you'd have a waterfall. The water would just run down that and freeze in a big waterfall. We've got places like that are like that. But here, underneath that layer of very resistant sandstone is a layer of very poorly conformed sandstone. It would be kind of the detritus of dead things and ground up sand and some mud and minerals and things like that don't stick together very well. So the water comes over a spring, goes over the top, and then when it gets past the eroded, the hard material, it finds its way eating slowly underneath and undercutting that layer. Eventually, you have a cave underneath it. These are not solution caves like the limestone ones that you crawl into and then go for long ways. These are undercuts that create a big room, let's say like this one, anywhere from 5 feet to 15, 20 feet high. So wherever these two rocks are together and they're exposed by erosion, they begin to create these ice caves. Well, actually they create shelter caves, but a shelter cave was used, that's archaeological, so we can actually talk quite a bit about that because these are very special spaces, both geologically and archaeologically, because they were shelters that saved the lives of many human beings on a regular basis as they were moving through here in the archaic period. So the water then comes over the top, and then as it comes to the edge, it comes, gravity takes it down, and then in cold weather it begins to freeze into icicles. And these icicles, as long as you have water, as long as you have a continuous source of spring water, they'll just keep growing. Oh, and cold. You have to have cold. So you end up with, in some winters, you end up with huge amounts of ice. Ice that when you get behind it, you see the blue-green color of glaciers. It's the same refraction that's created. And so you have the greens and blues and blue-greens of those ice formations. I think you'll see that today because they're really big right now. We had a really wet fall, and when you have a really wet period of time, then the aquifers are filled up, and then even the high aquifers, the ones that are high up on the hillsides, those dry up quicker because they just simply run to the edge and drop off, and they drain. But if those are filled in August, September, October, November, then they will run a long time in the winter and create these ice caves that just keep growing. So there are at least 40 ice caves out there in the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. There are some outside of it, but they lose the two layers. These layers go on for a long ways, but they change in composition. So they're actually going downhill as you go toward Iowa. So as they go downhill, they actually become below the erosion of the valleys. By the time they get over to the West Fork, they're actually way down by the water. So you actually see a lot of ice along. But because there's been so much active stream erosion there, you don't see nice caves isolated, and as you do here, up in a quiet, lonely valley with just a little erosion coming through, they stay for a long time. So they may exist elsewhere too, but you do need that combination you do need to have a roof, a resistant roof, and a erodible core that allows you to create the cave space.